Good evening and welcome to the Nighttime Heat right here on Prime FM 105.5. This program is also being relayed on Radio Gegema, that is in Nimba County, yes, and Radio Kwatike in Bon County. Also, Radio Wulagisi rather in Lofa County is relaying this program. We have Radio Witness also in Gatnosville is also relaying this program. Well, you can also catch this program on our Facebook page using your phone or your laptop. Just tap 105, tap Nighttime Heat, and then you subscribe. You share the show so that your friends, your relatives, your loved ones can also follow. Besides, you can also watch the show on your YouTube, on your phone or your laptop, just by tapping Nighttime Heat. As soon as you tap, you subscribe and you hit the notification bell. And then anytime the show is on, you're going to watch the show. Besides, we are also streaming live on Prime FM Monrovia 105.5. Again, Prime FM Monrovia 105.5. We are streaming live on those platforms. What tonight promises to be very, very interesting. I'm still expecting my co-host, one of my panelists, because Moses had already asked us that he will not be able to come in today due to some major engagement at his office. But I know George Kennedy is on his way, and shortly George will be here for us to steer the ship of things tonight. So tonight promises to be fantabulous. So, but George is my name, along with the producers. We'll be right back after the same.
Let's start.
Okay, so we are starting now. We are starting the Nighttime Heat tonight. It promises, like I said, to be fantabulous and interesting. Well, we'll be going to some individuals to hear from their counties. First, we'll be hearing from our correspondent, Franklin Dolokwi. Dolokwi should be reporting on the district inspector, age 16-4, who had gone missing for some time now, and so the people of Nimba County are concerned as to where is the district inspector. So they are concerned. Also, I will be going to our correspondent in Norfolk County. Well, we understand that the authorities there had put a stay order on the issue of gold money, and so and so we'll be talking, also speaking with Dolokwi. I'm sure you heard just recently that the Speaker of the House of Representatives was in somewhere Conakry. Is it? Yes, I hope I'm corrected. And what I said that he went to do there, what's the outcome of that trip? What did he, really accrue from that? Using taxpayers' monies to go that far. So we'll be hearing from the spokesperson of the Speaker in a moment from now. And then at 8:30, I'm sure we hear from our legal friend. I'm sure you heard that there's this twist again in the ongoing Assange case involving former House Speaker for Nancy Kofa and others. I understand that the bond has been turned back, rejected. Why? I understand that there's some procedural error. So we'll be speaking with Councillor Lafayette Gould at 8:30 to just bring us up to speed or to give us some understanding as to what is it like for the case. Is it that the entire case going to, is it a reset or what is it? And how is that going to play out at the previous court where they were before? And so we'll be talking about that tonight. Let me welcome one of my panelists, because Moses has said that he'll be engaged at his office very hugely, so you'll be unable to come. So let me welcome George Kennedy quickly. George, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Saba. Thank you so much. And I'll be missing Moses tonight.
Yes, your good friend.
So, yeah, my friend, senior brother Moses. I mean, I hope everything will be okay with you, and I hope that you will appear on the next show. So
yes, he promised to be here on Monday. He promised to be here, so hoping that we can get Moses. Let's see what we can connect with Franklin Dolokwi quickly. Dolokwi should be telling us basically. He should be telling us about the mysterious disappearance of a 64-year-old district inspector in Nimba County. I hope we can get Franklin quickly. Yeah, Franklin, how you doing? Franklin, welcome.
Hello, brother.
Franklin?
Hello?
Yes, welcome to the program. Oh, it seems that Franklin is not getting us. Let's try to again reconnect with Franklin Dolokwi. It seems that Franklin is not getting us. Let's try to reconnect with Franklin Dolokwi quickly, and then we'll put Franklin on the line. You're listening to the Nighttime Heat right here on the Prom FM 105.5. Again, share the show. Just go on your Facebook page. Welcome, Franklin.
Hello, G.
Yeah, Franklin. Franklin? Franklin? Franklin, are you there?
Hello?
Yes, Franklin, are you there? Oh, it seems we have some technical problem. Let's try to connect with Franklin quickly. We're not getting Franklin. Let me see what I can take Franklin from this end, because it seems we have some technical problem in studio. It's always happening, Let's try to see what we can get Franklin quickly from this end. Franklin, welcome to the program.
Thank you very much, George.
Okay, Franklin, we want to know basically about the mysterious disappearance of the 64-year-old district inspector. How much do you know about that?
So, yes, 64 years old district inspector for district number 4, which have been represented by NMRC, said he went missing. His name was Arthur K. Said Arthur K. went missing up to present. They are yet to find him. Just bring the number of 2 here in Nimba County. Few years back, there was a chemistry instructor at the Kanta United Valley School. His name was Nyapa Jiba. Dr. Jiba, when he went, he had left from Kanta, he went to District 8 to speak to the family member, and he had gone to bush to use the restroom when he went missing. Since then, up to present, they are getting to see. This thing, the district inspector, he left from work, and he had gone far to see his family while on his place, and he went missing. He said he wanted to use the restroom. He went missing. District number 4 up to present. He yet to be found. Even though there have been no intervention for even the representative, including local authority in the county, the superintendent, or the result, there have been no effort. They apply here from the office.
Okay, do we know whether the police has launched a manhunt for him? Franklin?
Hello, sir.
Yes. Do we know whether the police has launched a manhunt for him? Franklin? Oh, Franklin gone off again. We're hoping that we can get to. We got technical problem here. We're hoping that we can really resolve the technical problem right here. Again, you're listening to the Nighttime Heat. Just share the show on your phone. Just type Nighttime Heat, 3 words. As soon as you do that, you can be able to share the show. You watch the show and share the show. Franklin.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I was asking whether the police has launched a manhunt for him.
Up to present, there has been no intervention from the administration police yet.
When you said there has been no intervention, Franklin,
Yes.
are you saying that the police has not been alerted? The family had not told the police so that the police can launch a search for him? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, there have been no effort yet from the police end. What been happening is that it is the district inspector, the district commissioner, NS Duato from district number 4 running for Bill. He's the one you really been on the local radio station, even where he or the missing man family that also mounting pressure on the commissioner. So the commissioner been on the local radio station to inform the public. So it is the commissioner and the family member that they are really they are launch and set for this and the government.
Now, what is his family saying? Were you able to speak with members of his family?
Yeah, we spoke with them and said that engaging the government, they are calling on government intervention, but according to them, their father lost for a home and he are going to work, but he was unable to retain. The commission is saying, the district inspector came from work. He was on his way on towards his family and he had to use his restroom when he went busy.
Okay. Let's leave it at that, Franklin. Thank you very much. We really appreciate your time on the Nighttime Heat tonight. Let's try to connect with Moses Moween quickly. Moses is from Lofa County, where the authorities there had put a stay order on gold mining. Let's hear from Moses quickly. Moses Moween. Hoping that we can get Moses quickly on the line to speak with him. Again, you can also share the show, watch the show on your YouTube channel. Just make sure that you go on your YouTube channel or on your phone or your laptop and you type Nighttime Heat, 3 words. As soon as you do that, you subscribe and then you hit the notification bell. Right after that, you will be assured that anytime the show is on, you're going to watch the show easily. You're listening to the Nighttime Heat. I'm trying to connect with Moween. I'm not getting Moween, so let's try again to see what we can get Moween as soon as possible. Let's try to see what we can get Moween as soon as possible, and then also connect with Vesely Sumo. After which my colleague and I will talk about what's trending. And at 8:30, we hope to connect with one of Libert's young and eloquent lawyer, Gould. He will be giving us some legal explanation about this whole issue with the bond. The bond has been rejected. Again, prosecution wants the bond to be rejected because it's not quite sufficient. It has some defects, but the defense is arguing that. So there's this whole drama concerning that. So our legal friend Gu will be helping us to understand basically what is that all about, and how you going to again how you going to play out in the court. Let's see what we can. Speak of Vesely quickly. Vesely, welcome to the Nighttime Heat.
Thank you, Saba. Good evening to our listeners.
Okay. Just enlighten us, please. Recently, or just a few days ago, the speaker was in Conakry Gaining with a team of members of the House of Representatives. First, what was the essence of that trip, Vesely? You've been the spokesperson of the speaker.
Well, the speaker has embarked on a project, came as a project because the speaker wants to establish the Mano River Union parliamentary body. You know, since the Mano River Union was founded, we have had a secretariat, but basically conversations around the union has been mainly targeted towards executive provisions. The speaker thinks that establishing a parliamentary body for the MRU will enhance diplomatic relations, create established protocols, and sort of create legislations that will benefit countries in the Mano River Basin and will help the union speak with a single voice when we go to other bigger bodies like the ECOWAS, AU, or the United Nations. So that is what the speaker has embarked on. The speaker first made a trip to the Ivory Coast. He met with the speaker of the Ivorian Parliament, Mr. Bitoko, and then he went to Sierra Leone and met with the speaker of the Sierra Leone Parliament about a month ago. And that is why we went to Guinea.
Okay.
4 countries in the Mano River Basin, and we consolidating efforts on all fronts.
Okay, so he's been holding these sort of meetings with his counterparts. What sort of reaction is he receiving from them?
Very positive reactions. Bitoko, by the way, the head of the Ivorian Parliament, is a forerunner with this effort, and we managed to get a consent of the Sierra Leonean Parliament, and we also got a consent of the Guinean Parliament as per our last visit to Guinea. So the speaker is expected to host the heads of all these parliaments in Monrovia next month, where they will consummate the deal to establish the Mano River Union parliamentary body. A communique will be signed here in Monrovia that will establish a landmark institution for the Mano River Union. And that is the speaker's dream, and is coming to fruition as we speak.
I know if that happens, that will be the speaker's first major achievement since he assumed that role.
Well, I don't know what your definition of an achievement would be, but the speaker has had a lot of achievements since he became speaker. We've managed to consummate bring into being a lot of things. But yeah, on an international level, yes.
That would be a first.
The speaker's first major international achievement. You know, a lot of times we think that national issues should be left to the executive. The president alone should handle all these burdens. But the speaker thinks no. You know, the president is just one person. The government has 3 branches. Every branch of the Liberian government has to work to ensure that the government functions effectively. So yes, the legislature is taking a lead in this, and the speaker is at the very forefront. And wait to see next month when all these speakers come to Monrovia and we consummate this. You know, Liberia has been a country of first.
Okay.
You know, we were the first independent country. We were at the very table when the United Nations Charter was signed. So were we at the African Union and the Mano River Union. We want to be the country that initiated the establishment of the Mano River Union Parliament. It's not going to be just one regular institution for the name's sake. We want to make sure that we are establishing an institution that is effective, that contributes to the well-being of citizens residing in the Mano River Union Basin.
Okay, many thanks. Sumo, really appreciate your time.
You're always welcome. So.
Okay, you're listening to the Nighttime Heat right here on Prime FM 105.5. You just listened to the spokesperson of the Speaker of the House of Representatives. Again, let's try to connect with Moses Mowing. He's a correspondent from Lofa County, where we understand that the authorities there have put a ban on the mining activity, especially for gold. So, but it seems that we are not getting Mowing. If he calls back, we're going to make sure to connect with him. You've been listening. George, no, first let's talk about the issue that has to do with the disappearance of the district inspector in Nimba County. What do you think? What's your reading there?
That's a very serious matter. And if I am to take Franklin by his words, that up to now the police or the state as an institution has not intervened, then it's alarming, because he's not just an ordinary citizen. He was a county administrator, county leader. So to say that somebody went to go use a latrine and it just got vanished, whether the latrine was in the forest or whether he's in an adjacent house or he went to go home or whatsoever, it's a matter that I think we need to get words from the police about. Nobody know what really is going on clear. Because frankly, it's clear that authority has not reached to the family.
Yeah.
Family is speaking to him. I mean, I don't want to discredit what he's saying. For what that's the truth, I think it's alarming. It's something that warrants some intervention.
But again, I don't want to believe that up to now, since the mysterious disappearance of the county's inspector, that the family will not alert the police. I don't want to believe that, because the thing is, if somebody got missing or went missing, even a little child, the family will be concerned about getting the police informed. At least to mention, the county official, district inspector who are gone to missing. I'm sure the police will be concerned about that. So it's a bit difficult. We can dismiss what Franklin has said, but we're hoping that if the family can be able to alert the police, so that the police can launch that manhunt for him, because he's an official of the county.
Yes, and Franklin, in fact, went on to say another person, a chemistry instructor, also got missing a few months ago. So I think some of these things, when they happen, the police should be on top of it and sometimes speak to the public about it, acknowledging the allegation and the activities, and then communication is very crucial. You and I are from the communication background, so most of the time we like certain information that the public needs to know to be available to the public. Keeping quiet in most cases tend to create what we call speculation in our profession, and speculation can sometimes be very dangerous. So it's good to always speak to the public, to let them know, yes, we receive information about this, we are investigating, to make sure to get to the public when we get in a clue. These things are very important. So I hope the police, the IG and other senior officials of the police, especially the county authority there, the police authorities in the county, they are listening and will be able to follow the matter and then speak to the public on this.
Okay, what's about the issue that has to do with our second source? We just spoke with Vesely Sumo.
Yeah,
and he said the speaker has been making some frantic effort. You think it's welcoming?
Sure, sure. You see, the legislature now is trying now to be a bit dynamic. What we see is that establishing this kind of sisterhood or brotherhood relationship with sister countries in your domain, sister parliaments or legislatures in your domain is very crucial.
Surely.
Because when you are to pass any bill that affects the three countries, definitely you'll be working in one accord, because we need regulations, flexible regulations that actually create opportunity for trade and other things in the region.
Surely.
And we shouldn't be waiting for UN regulations. We shouldn't be waiting even for EU regulations. We should be looking at our own sub-regional regulations that actually affect us positively as a people. I want to wake up in the morning without any passport. I go to Sierra Leone.
Yeah.
And, I want to wake up and go to Guinea and go to Ivory Coast. And, without any problem. And, so. And these regulations, even though some of them exist at the highest level from UN and other ECOWAS, but once we're speaking with one another freely, our legislators can speak freely to one another. It's very important. I think I want to commend Speaker Kuhn for initiating this and for moving away from his normal comfort zone and going out there to set the tone to promote international relations.
And I asked a question, and I asked Vesely, I'm sure if this happens, it comes to fruition, that will be his first major international achievement. So
sure. The road to the speakership for him has been racket. So this one is going to help to boost his speakership, his power, his leadership style as a speaker. And I think I must commend him for that. It's good,
You're listening to the Nighttime Heat. Again, you can share the show just on your phone. You got our Facebook on your phone. Just go to where they have to search and you tap Nighttime Heat. Just 3 words. You're going to watch the show, and then you share the show so that your friends, your relatives, your loved ones, your partners can also follow the show and do the same. Besides, you can also go on your YouTube channel on your phone. They have YouTube there, or on the laptop. Just tap again Nighttime Heat. Those 3 words, you do it. You're going to watch the show. After you've tapped, you're going to subscribe, and then you hit the notification bell. The reason why we always encourage you to hit the bell is that anytime the show is on, you get the notification and you watch the show so easily. Again, we are streaming live on Prom FM Morovia 105.5. Again, Prom FM Morovia 105.5. We are streaming live. This program is for all of you. It's the Nighttime Heat. It reflects the views of every Liberian. The non-position, the opposition, the imposition, the marketers, the Yanabos. We open up this platform that you come on this platform and make your positions known. The only thing would allow is invectives. But you can, definitely we encourage intellectualism on this program. So hoping that you can take advantage of this program. It's the Nighttime Heat. It's not some of the program you listen to, just one segment of individuals trying to beat the drum of what the government is doing, and platform people beating the drum against what the government is doing. No, this platform is for what the government is doing and also what the government is not doing. Is it so, George?
Sure, and that's what makes us very unique in our own status. And the public, I can assure you, from what we're seeing, we are definitely getting there. And I hear a lot of people say, "Man, that program is not bad; it's very good." I say, yes, it has to be good because we're not there to defend. We're there to stand in between, and to look at all sides of the story. So I want to appreciate you for that. You created this platform, and you are the lead presenter here. So definitely, we're here to support your goals, your objective, your aim, and definitely we can help move this platform forward.
Okay, you're listening to the Nighttime Heat. It's 29 minutes after 8 o'clock. Very shortly, we'll be joining Councillor Lafayette Gould. But let me read this. Let me upload and get this information out quickly. Temple of Justice, resident Circuit Judge Roosevelt Zer Willie of Criminal Code A has ordered that a bail exception hearing in the Capitol building Arson case be re-transferred to the Monrovia City Court, citing procedural missteps by Secondary Magistrate L. Ben Bako. Let me read this story. Another twist again in the Arson case. A writ of arrest, on May 16, 2025, a writ of arrest was issued for former House Speaker, Councillor J. Fornanti Kofa, and the 3 other lawmakers over their alleged involvement in the arson attack on the Capitol building. Following the arrest, defense lawyers filed a property surety bond valued at US $440,000 on June 9, 2025, in a bid to secure their release from the Monrovia Central Prison. Legal basis for bond approval. Under the Liberian law, specifically Chapter 63 of the Civil Procedure Law, Section 63.3 provides that a bond becomes effective upon court approval once prima facie evidence shows that the sureties or property offered are qualified and genuine. Section 63.4 allows for the waiver of bond requirements by written agreement of both parties, unless the court orders otherwise. Challenge to the bond. In accordance with these provisions, the prosecution exercised its right under the criminal procedure law and filed an exception to the bond on June 12, 2025, while the case was still under preliminary hearing before Magistrate Bako. The defense responded with a justification to the exception on June 13. However, instead of ruling on the exception, Magistrate Bako concluded the preliminary hearing and transferred the matter to Criminal Court A. This action triggered procedural concerns from both the prosecution team.
Yes.
Okay, I'm coming in.
Yeah.
Defense and prosecution arguments. At the June 19 hearing, before Judge Willie, the defense moved to dismiss and quash the exception, arguing that the prosecution had failed to pursue ruling at the magistrate level. At the ministerial level, the court cannot do for you what you ought to do for yourself, the defense asserted, contending that the prosecution's inaction constituted a waiver and that Criminal Court A lacked jurisdiction over matter that remained unresolved at the lower courts. Countering the defense motion, Montserrado County Attorney Councilor Richard Scott maintained that the prosecution acted within the statutory 3-day window to challenge the bond. He stated that the exception was timely filed and that under the law, the prosecution retains the right to assess the sufficiency of any bond posted. Judge Willie's ruling. After reviewing the submission, Judge Willie concluded that the exception to the bond was not properly before Criminal Court A, and therefore the court cannot entertain it. This court will not entertain any hearing that was not properly brought before it. Judge Willie ruled, stressing the need for adherence to procedural order. He then ordered that the matter be returned to Magistrate Bako, who must now determine the sufficiency or insufficiency of the bond. Okay, let's start there. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get in touch with our counsel.
This article is one of the pieces that I really have credit for. That's good journalism. Mm-hmm. That's good journalism. It's where balance is. The reporter, in fact, went quoting the statutes and other laws that support his argument, mm-hmm. his or her argument. And I think the judge, I'm not a lawyer. I always issuing this addendum. I'm not a lawyer, but I think the judge is right. It is the city court that should determine whether this bond is valid or not.
Yeah.
But apparently, it was an oversight from the judge from the city court. Mm-hmm. In his ruling, he did not mention about the validity
of the bond.
So definitely, Judge Willie, knowing who he is, very critical judge, respecting highly, he said, look, I'm not going to continue with this case if the ruling does not cover this. Mm-hmm. So go back, Judge Bako, please rule on this. Because first thing, it's true, the prosecution filed their motion at the city court. Mm-hmm. They argue against that particular bond, but the ruling went without mentioning about the validity of the bond. So mm-hmm. that's definitely why it is there, and it is gone back. So the judge will have to rule on it and then complete the entire ruling to give the criminal court a to go ahead to actually pursue the case.
So, because that's the question now. So, if it happens that the judge at the lower court there, Bako, if it happens that he came up to say, well, the bond is not sufficient, what happens?
Definitely, the former Speaker Kofi, his team will be arrested and then placed behind bars.
So he has to determine the sufficiency of the bond.
Yes, and it has been done in line with the law, not just his personal opinion. Mm-hmm. Yes, because the prosecution has argued that the bond is defective. The bond does not meet the requirement. The insurance company has some issues. All right. So it is based on that argument from the prosecution that definitely the judge will have to look at. They will have to bring their files before the judge. Why this company has problem? Why they will have to defend their argument. And once they defend it adequately and it is proven that the bond is defective, it does not meet the requirement, definitely the individual has to be rearrested right there, and then in my own knowledge, my little knowledge, and then send the court until they can get the rightful bond. That's actually
now. I see it as a reset of the entire case, because we saw that the case had gone the second step to the criminal court. Yeah. Now with the court sending the bond back and certain procedural error, but again, why the magistrate at the time could not hear the issue of the challenge that the prosecution had filed? Why he couldn't hear? Instead, he had to quickly transfer the case to criminal court. Why he couldn't?
Probably he heard it, but as I said, this case is a high-profile case.
Very high profile.
So sometimes we should expect some of these things. I would call it an oversight, probably. Okay, because if he had not granted it, definitely he would not have filed the case to court A. But probably because he didn't mention. And if at all he granted it, and the prosecution still argue in court A that they still have problem and they got sufficient evidence that it's defective, the judge will still ask him to look at it again.
You'll send it back.
Yeah, because he's the one that's supposed to grant. He's the one that's supposed to. They communicate behind the scenes. So probably the judge observation, Judge Willie's observation, apart from the official communication to Judge Bako, probably, they talk. We tell him where the problems are. Probably they'll work on it. And that should send signal to the defense that you need to have what we call standby in case that bond proves to be defective. You should be ready with another bond that will stop you from going to prison.
Wow.
Yeah. That's how dramatic sometimes it can be like in court.
Okay, talking about case, let's try to because just recently again the case took another dramatic twist when John Yanti is the name. Okay, he came back to Liberia because there was some speculation. Some said that he was in the U.S., but then later on we heard that he was in Ghana. But he came back and made his huge allegation against some state security operators or actors, including the Inspector General and some folks at the National Security Agency, and that prompted a pushback from the IG, who held a press conference. The Inspector General. Let's hear what he had to say briefly about this whole Yanti. How Yanti came back. Let's play this video. Let's upload it quickly.
And subsequently turned over. So Yanti was brought back into the country on the 6th. The intervention of a family member who made a request that he was willing to cooperate and become a witness. However, we know that in criminal investigation, cooperating suspects are always dangerous. When he was brought in based on the request of the family member who assisted in this process, we gave him a chance to speak with him and to test the legitimacy of his willingness to assist in the investigation. In the process, it was proven that indeed he could not be trusted. He was already charged even before he was charged in absentia, so even before being arrested as such, he was brought over at Central Headquarters and subsequently turned over.
Okay, I think that's the end. You listen to the IG there.
Yeah.
The first thing he indicated that John Yanti was brought back on the advice of, I think, a family member of Yanti, and like he indicated, he was not coerced. There was no way the police coerced him or pressure him to come. Now, do we know this family member? Because the police didn't call the family member.
Yes, the police didn't, and
you didn't call the name of the family member.
They didn't call the name of the family member, and I saw what Mr. Yanti did. It's difficult to say, but I thought that looking at his background, because he had been traced, all his political linkages, his background, all that thing, all wasting on the social media. So I think all those things, after the police did those things, they were, as the IG said, were a bit skeptical. But in every case, in this type of case, criminal case, people who are charged, some of them could volunteer themselves as state witness, and that alone could reduce their penalties and some other things. So the state, in my view, probably trying to further strengthen their witnesses, the evidence that they have after this so-called appeal from the family member that he's willing to come and then testify, decided to have a meeting with him when he came. So I think the mistake that he made, he was too fast to go speak. He has an opportunity, in my view, to damage the prosecution of the entire case. He just remained quiet and appear in court and say what he said. But what he said now, the charges against him remain standing, and he won't benefit from, because he was charged in absentia, when he was charged.
Yeah, we heard the police.
Yeah, so he's damaged his standing to the extent that if they are found guilty, they all will go through the same punishment.
So you are saying that what he should have done was to remain quiet until he appeared in court to testify.
Yes, if he had any intention of saying what all he said, he has all the right to remain silent and assure whoever he wanted to assure that he would testify in their interest. And then goes before the judge. When you're speaking before the judge, you are speaking on oath. You say what you had to say. That's my view. You understand? But what he did, and people now, when checking his background, he got a CDC cap, all of those things, when it makes his entire comments, in my view, to be political. Be seen as political.
No, that's where I differ with you. To say that because of what he wears or because of his cap makes the entire case political, then this is what I disagree. I think we can dismiss outright what he said. He made his points known, indicating that he was offered some 200,000 to come and testify on behalf of the state. The point of the matter is that it's much easier to say things, to make revelations and speak your mind, but it's another thing to prove it in a court of law. And this is where I think he needs now to be given the opportunity. I think it's in the hands of the police already, or either in the hands of the court. This is when he needs to be given the opportunity so as to go and say and provide all of the pieces of evidence, because those allegations that he made are very huge indeed. They are not small allegations, especially saying that they were offered 200K, 200,000 to come and lie against former Speaker Kofa and others. And naming the IG, naming Mark Ambula, all those guys from from the NSA, I think it's very huge. It's very grave.
Sure.
And like somebody want to ask the person said, but I want what they see that what is it that he's depending on? Maybe he's depending on the truism of what he's saying. Because to have come up with those sort of strong allegations, they are very strong, and that's the reason why the police didn't take it lightly. The IG quickly already held a press conference to rebuff all what he said. But again, the burden of proof lies on his head.
Yeah, it's true. From the background from which I spoke when I said that could be political, his statement could be,
political.
He as a person, yes, because everyone that is indicted, almost 95 and 98, there are 5, right? 5 indictees. So 4 of them are from the same party that he's from. All right. People in the public, what trending on the social media, some of us started reading about the marriage to sedition. Now it doesn't, and those who driving him through out to say that the government offered him this money, this, that, a bulk of them, where are they from? From the same party. So it's having the kind of political, he may not be thinking that way, but it having that kind of linkages. So people could say, oh, they're saying the guy trying to be political. Additionally, you in Ghana, somebody said 200K.
A lot of money.
A lot of money for someone to say they come in to kind of blow things off. So I stand with you. I agree with you when you say we cannot just uprightly rule out what he's saying. But
you should be prepared to prove it.
Yeah, I'm just a bit skeptical and finding it difficult to see myself here supposed to come and testify for the crime that I have been charged fully of committing, to come and testify against some of my colleagues. I gave you 200K. I'm in Ghana. If some people do say it's not anything to do, But I think he's very good enough. He may be very good enough to say, I want the 200K. I just want to say the truth and just walk away. So let's see what plays are in the court. Because what I'm hearing for some police sources is that while he was in Ghana, his communication and other things with people here is very indicting against him. Yeah, some family members, this and that. So this case, we don't want to criticize it. At the end of the day, the judge will decide.
The judge will decide.
Yeah.
Okay, you're listening to the Nighttime Heat directed on Prime FM 105.5. This program is also being relayed on Radio Wologisi in Lofa County, Radio Gegema in Nima County, and Radio Kwatiga in Bon County. Again, you can share the show. Just take your phone and tap the 3 words Nighttime Heat. As soon as you do so, you share the show so that your friends, your relatives, your loved ones, or partners can also follow the show. Also, you can watch the show on the YouTube. Just again, go on your YouTube, either your phone or your laptop, and then tap the 3 words. Tap the 3 words Nighttime Heat. You subscribe, and then you hit the notification bell. Right away, you begin to watch the show. Also, we are streaming live on Prime FM 105.5. Again, Prime FM 105.5. Okay, so let's talk about what is trending also. We'll play the video first. The whole issue of the national identification card. It's triggering lots of debate now. In street corners, in homes, and in business places, people are debating the issue that the process has started on a very poor mode. There wasn't sufficient first publicity regarding the whole aspect of the identification card start. There was not sufficient publicity, and besides, others are contending that not many centers, because to take this very important the cards, the national identification card, to take it very important. It's something that that should have had very sufficient preparation, so that many people can be on tab and many people can also comply. But as it stands, in fact, I was just speaking with a friend a few minutes ago who told me that they went to the center, but the place was hugely packed, with people very inundated, and they could not register, they could not get their cards. And then also in other street corners, you hear that there are individuals who do have the capacity, and what they are doing is paying double the amount you pay for the card so as to fast track, So all of that is causing serious stir. And today I understand that the head of the NRR went to the Senate, went to the House of Representatives. He was invited. Let's try to play the tape. Let's try to upload the video that shows the interactions between he and a member of the House who was very, very furious over the entire thing. Let's try to play that tape quickly.
If we can't do anything for ourselves, let's stop the friendship and do our work. Having said that, I don't think the winner is ready for the job. The first thing you keep here, disrespecting all the law we made to tell all you want to tell all the law. And you couldn't even state the law. Because what? When people are appointed, they go, if they don't learn what they want to go do. They come with bossy attitude. So they will go further down to 3.2 D. It says to design your functions, the things you're supposed to do. To design, produce, issue biometric card, each with a unique identification number to be called a social security number. That will be able to be used by every citizen for passport, for what the thing mean, all the other things like birth certificate, death certificate, everything, right? And then the next portion is to solicit funding. So we give you a very good tax, right? What you don't understand is that not you to get power to say the passport. What you're doing, the biometrics and how people doing what they. If you have a system for the year, length of time we are giving you this thing. If you have a system in place, they should come to you for our biometric and you sell it to them. They're not supposed to be doing it. So it means you're greater than the passport, but you are the custodian of biometric. And the transport ministry, everybody supposed to come to you and negotiate with you. Then we come to the funding aspect. In the law, we say you can look for 1 year. When hearing you talking about you went to UN conference, you went other places, right? What have you? You're supposed to look for funding. They have the election commission they do. Before election comes, they are looking for funding and partners to make sure they be more proactive to do their job. You're supposed to come to us and say, this is my projection. But this year to this year, I want to roll up the 5 million plus Liberian in my system to be in my custody. But I need the Liberian legislators to allocate this money for me to do this work. Have you? When you want to school us about 1980? So let me tell you the next thing. Nobody let me say this with you. And I think that people will think they will come here and play with us when we don't know what we're doing. Our people are suffering. Our people passing around complaining everything. When I will create this body, as this may be from here today, let the legislature make decision that the national identification card be free for 6 months for our people to access it. And we can go with voter registration card because we want them vote for us and do it free. Why we get to the identification card free for them? Then you come with a budget, they put money there. Then you go to it, start suffering our people. It's not suffering our people. We can continue like that. And all right, these people don't respect us. And I will ask the close on this. Hey, please. We need to be a central bank governor to tell us who gave him the power to act. the president executive order. Please don't violate. If we are not going to take it serious, we have to stand up. But these people are not your friends. 2028, they will be fighting on here our favorite district. High school and not different people. Thank you.
Okay, you're listening to Mema Briggs, representative, I think from Bon County, right?
Yeah.
Okay. She sounds very, angry about the poor start of the whole identification, the national identification card rollout. I'm sure, proud to her position, on the floor. I'm sure there was there were presentation made by Andrew Peters, and maybe in that presentation he spoke about some of the challenges that I face also in trying to roll out the process, and that's why she said, "But I think you should have first come to us, submitting the budget. So this is what I want to provide cards for my people, then to start the process, and currently we are experiencing all the hitches and all of that." So and then she also indicated that she expected him to have first met the legislature, especially the House of Representatives, for them to discuss the possibility of the issue. Rather, he went there to talk about the law, that the law states this and the law states that. Let me hear from you, and so that we can talk about this in totality along with our guests, with our callers.
You see, in as much as I agree with most of the things that you said, but I consider her posture as grandstanding.
Grandstanding? Why?
Yeah.
Why?
The NIR has existed for years. How much has the legislature budgeted for them to really function and decentralize their operations across the country? When did the legislature come to realize that the national identification is very important? It is only because the US government wants it for us as a country. The Trump administration is serious because it collects all our local data before going to the embassy, and so they want to see a national identification card. It's good for the country. But when did we come to realize as a government that this identification is important? It was a voluntary thing where you go, you take it. Most of the people will not go take it at a time because you're paying small money, $5 for it. All right? So this legislature, they in the House, should have, from the beginning, realized the importance of this, because they know that the law says it will be linked to the passport, it will be linked to all your documents, even to your TIN, your tax identification, everything. So they should have seen it as an important tool and pump more money, their influence, make them to recruit and deploy people across the country. Where I agree 100% is when she said, let the government pump money and make it free. Even if the government pump the money and make it free, the centers are not enough. There will be mass rush, and it could lead to even additional problem. But it's still good for the government to finance it, because $5, if you multiply it by 5.5 million people, some of us already got ours. And, so maybe we're paying for almost 2-3 million people. So if we can source the funding to do it and deploy teams across the country, those service centers that were operating before, they all died over the last 6 years. If they were properly functioning, you get these people there, it would have been very easy for us. But those are the institutional issues that we talk about. The NIR has its own challenge. Sometimes their machines can break down. Machines break down, no money. Service delivery becomes slow. So let's look at those fundamental issues and address them and make them more effective and efficient, instead of bringing them to the legislature and bashing at them. We need to be finding solutions.
Okay, so let me again differ with you briefly. Yes.
Good.
Let me differ with you briefly when you said what some of the lawmakers are doing, or the stand they are taking against the NIR is grandstanding. This is what I differ. I don't agree with that. if what it would have caused Mr. Andrew Peters, he and his team at the NRO, the fact that maybe they were approached by the government to come up with this whole rollout process. First, I thought that they would have sat down, begin to think about how the whole process will be effectuated.
Yeah.
Talking about the issue of thinking about the issue of budget, putting a budget in place, thinking about the issue of securing maybe more centers, talking about the issue of or thinking about the issue of deploying people in parts of rural Liberia, or maybe setting up teams in rural Liberia, so as to also roll out the process there. But instead, Mr. Andrews and his people, Peters and his people, started the process on the poor note that's today causing lots of noise at centers. I tell you what, if you visited the centers now, you see the huge rush of people. One, it's not because that the money involved or the amount involved is small. It's not because of that, but it's because of the importance of it that the government has attached. I understand that if you don't secure yours, I think by the 1st of August or something,
the
31st of August, your orange number, right, will not operate, and that is in consultation with the mobile company as well. So it's huge. It's important. There's no one who can question the importance of securing a national identification card. But equally so, we thought that the NRO should have done sufficient public awareness concerning this. They should have done sufficient preparation, getting more centers, getting more teams, so as to make the process easier for our people. But as it stands, like you heard the representative saying, the process it has started on a difficult note for our people. And she indicated, I'm coming, she indicated that the government should make it free for the first 6 months. Even at that, if the government makes it free, there will still be problem in securing the cards because the centers are not many.
Very good.
The centers are not many. Okay, yes, go ahead.
And what really I was saying when I said the grandstanding is, I think the president issued the executive order for this citizen ID card. I think it was in May. All right, I think it was in May, and that executive order, as I said, it has is the source. Some of the concerns that the U.S. government raised, I heard,
for which the president set up the presidential task
force. Okay, so when the president issued the executive order, what it did was it mounted pressure, increased the demand for the card. Was the NRO prior to the executive order well set up, well funded, and ready to handle this demand? The answer is no. NRO has been seen in the past as just an institution that even the legislators that are talking here, some of them, even to say, let's allocate funding for them, it's been a problem for them. The budget was passed before the executive order was issued. So after the president's executive order, reading that executive order was the time this legislature should have taken a step to increase the support for those people through some emergency funding.
But then this will still come in, George. How can that happen if the people themselves didn't go to request? You don't expect the legislature to just add additional money to your budget, except you come up to say, look, this is what we are about to do. Based on presidential mandate, we are about to roll out this process, and this is what it will cost. You give the people all the necessary, the specifics, the details. We're going to get more centers. We're going to deploy people in part of rural Liberia, or going to set up teams in rural Liberia. So all of that, we're going to rent structures and all of that. So that should have been a whole preparation, a whole plan submitted to the national legislature. But if you don't do that, it becomes impossible for the legislature to grant you money or to give you money. It's not possible.
This is not a defense of the NIR.
And this is a defense of the legislature as well.
I know, in my own mind, looking at the NIR, I'm trying to pull their proposed budget. I am not getting it. You understand? That's what I was looking for. I believe that if you check that initial presentation, submission to the legislature, all that which you are saying will be there. It is because we used to hear they want to decentralize, they want to go to the service centers to get it in nationwide, this and that. They were even talking about mobile team, this and that. They will only function if the lawmakers see those things as important and pass the budget for them. That's why I'm trying to pull their budget. If I were in our house, I would have asked how much did we allocate for them in the budget, and what was their request. Look, this thing is very, very important. People should not scapegoat anybody. Let them work together to solve the problem, because this thing has become an international demand for us. So instead of bashing at one person, this, and the person trying to tell you this is what the law says, this was my submission to you, you don't want to listen to it, but you say since the executive order was issued somewhere in May, in June, you understand? Probably it didn't come here, there's that. I don't know whether they went there or they wrote them. No history or such coming until the NIR confirm what we're saying here. But I think most of these institutions, it's always better to look at them to finance them properly. That has to do with the national interest. So the best thing they can do, they extended it to August 31st. I can see that there may be another extension. But Uncle Sam is not waiting. You understand? Uncle Sam is not waiting. Uncle Sam is saying that we need this information. We need your citizens to be readily, their information be readily digitized and accounted for. Okay? Like what they do in our country. So I think we all need to push for support for the NIR to see, as you were saying, if they can get some funding to give them quick for them to start doing what they're doing. We may not meet the August 31st deadline. Because even the people in the rural areas, Sabo, how many of them know about this thing? How many of them waiting to go see the picture, this and that, So it's another thing that could take months, if not years.
This is what I just pulled out.
Yeah.
The draft national budget for Liberia in 2025 represents draft national budget, okay.
The NIR session.
Yeah, I'm trying to get it in NIR.
That's what I'm trying to get. Yeah.
Represented 15.3% increase over the recast budget. Okay, it's designed to address. Okay, no, I'm trying to look for the NIR. I'm trying to look for the NIR. Okay, but the thing is, again, George, if you asked me to do something now, George, first I will have to, and you give me a timeline. That look, someone, can you do this? This is what I want you to do between now and the 30th of June. I'm going to sit down and brainstorm on how I can succeed in what you want me to do. Right?
Yeah.
Take into consideration all the necessary requirements. You get me? That I need. So if the NIR boss sat with the president or sat with some higher ups in the government, that look, NIR needs to come up with citizen identification cards because it is part of the issues raised or concerns raised by the U.S. government, right?
Yeah.
Now, you are telling the NIR that this is very important. It's part of what we're going to, it's part of our response.
It's true.
To the concerns by the U.S. government. So NIR should have seen this as very important and very huge in trying to succeed it. So the first thing they should have done was to go to work and draft a budget, come up with a budget, taking into consideration all what they need, taking into consideration the requirement in the setting of centers, deploying men, and securing new equipment, computers, and all. So that should have been done. Then after which, I'm sure you've taken that to the president. Maybe the president will have called maybe the speaker, Mr. Speaker, this is the issue we have on hand. You get what I'm saying?
I'm getting you.
And if that document reaches before the House of Representatives, I'm sure something will have been done because it's very important.
That is from May to June.
But to start a process in the more haphazard manner, which I believe, it's now triggering lots of problems. You go to the centers, you see huge, number of people, and some will stay there the whole day. They can't even secure the cards. So Member Briggs is saying, told the House, look, my proposal is that let's allow the government to fund this process for the next 6 months. But even at that, if the government is funding the process, we still need to get more centers. We still need to deploy people outside, or maybe set up teams in part of rural Liberia to afford our people to also secure theirs.
Yeah.
So it's a whole long preparation. It's not something that you're going to start in an impulsive manner, in a hasty manner, and at the end of the day you don't achieve what you want to achieve. So that's my point.
Yeah, you are right. That's where we have to balance the discussion, and I agree with you with most of the things you say.
Before you come in today, I called the NNR boss. He had agreed to sit before us on Monday.
Okay.
I told him that we needed to speak with him, and he has agreed to sit before us on Monday. I'm hoping that he will come on Monday.
Yeah, that's
because
good.
there are others who've been complaining that every time we call he doesn't come. But this time around, he told us that he will come on Monday.
So right there, I think it will be better we hear from him, because I don't know him. I haven't interacted with Mr. Peters before, but looking at the NRR, I feel that some of these requests we're talking about, they were overlooked again in the process. But the president's executive order gave weight, and in fact has made the NRO more relevant to the public. To the public at the moment. Right now, the hottest institution at the NRO.
In fact, guess what? I had 2 of the cards. The first time it got missing, the second time it got missing. So the 2 cards got missing. I need to get new ones.
So as far as you go there, the number that you register, the number that you put in the system, when you call it, I believe that number you call, and they will just enter in the system.
Okay.
There was
because
Okay. So I went there to go counter check my card, and they allowed me to do that.
Okay, that's
and So the fight is, we need to stand behind the NRO and support them.
Yeah, surely.
Right now, where they are, because their success would be a great success for our country right now, because our international partners need those data. They need it in order to open more doors for us. So we need to give them our support. We need, as a government and people, and the reason why the population are even taking it more serious, the mobile money is tied to it.
Yeah, sure.
Sure.
And that will cause economic problems for some of our brothers.
Yeah.
Because let's assume a man or a woman or a family that's not working, they don't have any source of income.
Yeah.
They are only depending on remittance. So at the end of the day, if their SIM is blocked, they can't
even the country suffer. Because taxes or remittances, government will not get it. It will reduce the budget envelope. So all of those things, they help. And, so the government, that's why they decided to extend it to August 31st. I'm very sure if they don't get the numbers, they will still extend it. And even the international partners are asking us to get this information. They will see and they know that this entity needs some support and stuff. We're hearing in the breeze some people say, I don't know how to, it's not verified. Some people say, World Bank said they're going to get 30 million to the group that do it, so nobody's supposed to pay. If that is true, it's good.
Yeah.
If we can pump the money, definitely the people get the equipment, and so that the machine can give us even in our office. So we need more equipment. It needs to be deployed, ready to deploy across the country, in all major cities across the country, where citizens can get work and get it anytime. And this one, the new one, the first one was 2 years. The second card was 5 years. This current one, the new one they gave me, I think, is 7 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
7 years.
7 years. Cool. That's what I'm hearing. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so shortly we'll open the lines. Member Briggs and some lawmakers they've decided, they've proposed, in fact, that the government makes the cards free for Liberians for the next 6 months, right?
Yeah.
So let's try to put it to our people. I know there may be some who will want to differ. There may be some who will, shrink along with this proposal. So that we can hear from our people. We've been talking about a couple of issues, but this NNR card is very, very important. This national identification card is very, very important. Let's try to hear from our people as soon as possible. Again, the numbers to call 0778 460 793. Again, 0778 460 793. That's the number to call. And you are live. We are talking about the the national identification card. I don't know whether you have yours. The lines are blinking already. I don't know whether you have yours or you don't have yours. But the House of Representatives, some members are saying the government should take responsibility for the next 6 months, making sure that to get the cards is free. After that 6 months, maybe then people can start paying for it now. But in the meantime, to get the cards is free. If you have gone to the center and maybe you have experienced some of the difficulties in getting the cards, put your calls. Let's hear from you and let's hear your experience. Again, 0778 460 793. Let's take the first call on the line. Again, 0778 460 793. That's the number to call. 0778 460 793. That's the number to call. And you are live right here on the program. Hello?
Good evening, sir. How are you?
I'm okay, sir. Your name and where you calling from?
I'm still calling from Douala.
Let's hear from you.
Yes, I mean, I'm so happy of that decision the government have come up with. That's also to make sure that there is transparency within the government.
Okay.
Yes, it's very good that everything will be on course. You will not go the other way. If somebody is sending somewhere the same money, you have to go through the process. It's very easy. It's very simple. It's good for us. That brings transparency and also it brings development.
Did you already apply for yours?
Yeah, I'm in the process of doing that.
Okay, you are in the process of doing that, but there are not many centers, and the who has the NRR today went to the House of Representatives, and some of the lawmakers are saying that the government should take responsibility for the next 6 months so that Liberians can get it free for the next 6 months. After 6 months, you can start paying for it. Where do you stand?
I mean, it's good. It's not every.
Hello, you are breaking in. Where do you stand?
Yeah, the same. You are getting me now.
Yeah, I'm getting you now. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's good idea that not happening. I mean, look at the country situation now. Everything is okay. So that time period I was taking, I mean, it's good.
So you want for it to be free for the next 6 months?
Of course, yes. Then after that time, anybody now you go there, you have to pay money.
Okay, thank you.
That will also make people to be serious to take it.
Okay, many thanks. You made your point already. Let's take another call on the line. Good evening. Good evening.
How are you?
Yes, I'm okay. Your name and where you calling from?
This is Abbas. Is calling from Bravia.
Okay, Abbas, let's hear from you quickly.
The point is here.
Mm-hmm.
The card is very fine, but the government should decentralize.
Okay.
It should be all, or even now school coming close, they can even put it to all the high schools. So people get access to get to the process and get it soon. 1. 2, they should send the project over to NEC. NEC, when you get there for your voting card, as soon as they put your information in the system, they print it out, they give it to you. But for example, I pay my way from here to Lone Star, where they have the second, the branch. I pay my way maybe 400 or 500 when I get there. Oh, there's some that stay on the line. I don't get it. They say go come back. I come back the next day when I get it. When I can't take it, I will not get it the same day. They say 1 or 2 weeks. So then they put come away. If they don't have the system set, they give it to NEC. As soon as you take your card, within 5 minutes, and they print it or they give it to you.
Okay. So have you gone for yours already? Have you applied for yours already?
Yes, I'm getting mine. I put in for it, but I don't even get it. But I already applied for it. I get it. I went somewhere. I showed the receipt. They said they can't accept the receipt. So I'll get it maybe by next week.
Okay. Was the process easier for you to get it?
No, it was difficult. When that red was simple brief, they play over crowded. And when they are still online, it took me almost 2 hours before I could get to the car. I was taking a photo.
Okay. All right. Thank you for sharing with us your experience. Again, let's take another call on the line. Good evening. Good evening.
Hello.
Yes. Hello.
Yeah, Mama Dolly calling from Broadway, Bahamas.
Let's hear from you, Dolly. Let's hear from you quickly.
Yes. The vendor that the government came away is fine. One of the areas that someone thinking about now, the way they dependent free, whether if you go, you'll be able to hurry up and make it good, saying it is free. Then two, some auto our own, and now is it was not zero. My own now appeal.
Wow.
We had to go some part of December, but the whole thing appeal is not durable. We take it to the sea and to a farm.
Oh, you took it to a farm?
Yes.
I mean,
yeah.
Caller.
Now the whole thing appeal in my hands.
Mama, hello, caller.
Somebody speaking to you.
Are you there?
Huh?
Somebody speaking to you.
Yeah, hello?
Yeah, Mama. The government has say free. The government won't discussing it yet. They not agree yet.
Yeah, I'm seeing. I said some more pay for it. We took it. Now you say 6 months. The whole thing spoil.
Okay.
And now we need to carry back because the few times we went for verification, they couldn't find my expiry date. So they both said they couldn't take it.
Okay. So you have to go back to retake it, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you, man. Let's get another call on the line quickly. Good evening. Yes, sir.
Good evening, God.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Let's hear from you.
Yeah, my name is Stephen. I call from the JMB and JDA Dream for Better Labrador Foundation.
Okay.
You know, the NAR is a very laudable process. I think it is important that librarians enroll into the process so that we can know the total. You know, there's a long way in benefit that we will get from this process. Because when the entire populations is enroll into the NIR, there will be a security, a benefit that we'll get. There will be economic benefit that the country will also get. So I think it's laudable. On the issue of the court proceeding, I want to be very clear on this issue. I don't know why you want President George Weah, former President George Weah, to appear at the court and do that popular appearance, and for which I saw you raising battle cry when you were embracing Fonati, and then the bond is not valid as as the state prosecutor described it. Because you can be a former president knowing fully the requirement under the law, and then you go to serve for people, and the bond is not valid. They speak volume to the kind of intention he has to even make a leadership or to lead this country. So I mean,
no, but the thing is, hello.
Yeah.
You can accurately say that the bond is not valid. It is only the court. That's the reason why the criminal court sent the bond back to the magistrate court, so that the court looks at it and then sees as to whether it is valid or not. So we can say, I can say, you can say, except the court can come up with that declaration to say, look, for Nati, you and your men of bond not valid.
Criminal code A is more knowledgeable to our understanding then of course we will conclude and surmise that the bond that is being critiqued by the state lawyer, it was not a valid bond.
Hello, caller.
Yeah.
The judge ruled that George Bako from the city rule on the bond, did not make comments on the bond, whether it's valid or not in his ruling. That's why they send it back for. So until he the judge, George Bako can say, yes, the bond is valid or is invalid. That's why Mr. Super George is saying.
So
we can't say it is invalid or we can't say it's valid.
Validation of that bond, they should have been contested before they are released from the cell.
What should have been contested? What?
So what I want to say is short.
No, I'm coming. Let me. Hello.
Yeah.
I understand your position. The thing is, normally when you file a bond, and the court deems that bond is valid, the court can secure your temporary release. So that what happened when Fornati and others filed a bond. The court felt that bond was valid, for which they secured a release. If the court felt that the bond was not valid, we have. But then after after the court secured their temporary release, the next thing that happened, the prosecution came up to say, look, this thing is not valid. This bond has some defects. So we need to look at that. That was after the case had been sent to the criminal court. So again, the criminal court sent it back. Yes. Yes.
There was a very vital character that appeared before the court.
Who vital character?
That character was former President John.
No, we're not going there. Okay, we're not going there. Please, thank you for your time. We're not going there. We have got nothing to do with this thing here. Let's try to respect our leaders, and that's the reason why we'll talk about that. People don't respect that. People don't respect their leaders anymore. Let's try to respect our leaders. President, we went there because his members, from the party were incarcerated and were being released. So he went there to give them that. What does it have to do with the bond again? With the bond value? Let's take another call on the line quickly. Good evening.
Saba, good evening.
Yes, sir. Good evening.
Let me say good evening.
Dave Kuti is calling. Dave, I'll put you on after this call.
So let me say good evening to your co-host.
Okay.
So, Saba, I'm in Monrovia. My name is Theophilus Tito Bedichakon.
Okay.
So, Saba, the various talking points tonight are interested. So, what happens is the first thing that I want to say here, Saba, is this allegation that the police tried to grab, or suspect John Nyanti with 200,000 United States dollars. So, for me, beyond all reason, I can never believe that, because the name John Nyanti cannot refuse $200,000. This is a brother who I know. Like when I'm sleeping and you tell me to say ABC, I will say it very well. I'm telling you, this is a brother that I know. And you're talking about 200,000. There's a brother who you give him $100 US. If $100 US is very plenty for him to make this allegation. Look, the CDC just want to politicize this entire case, because the reality is maybe they are.
Hello. Oh, it gone off. 0778-460-793. That's the number to call. 0778-460-793. Let's take this call on the line quickly. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Let's hear from you.
Calling from Puebla West. My name is Harry.
Okay.
The CDC, Joya, 400 now. On a power not valid. Not valid. So the people have to be. I mean, a 400. They wouldn't do it to see what the lawyers.
So let me ask you the question. Hello.
Yeah.
So what does George Weah got to do with the bond? Just tell me. No. Just tell, no. Hello. What does George Weah got to do with bond? You say he filed a bond?
He's not the one that went there for it.
No man. That's let's try to be honest with ourselves. I mean, if John Paul doesn't have any linkage with anything, that's not linked. John. The bond was filed by the defendants. They filed their bond. Let's take another call on the line quickly. Good evening. Oh, okay, let me take this call on. Please, Dave, just hold the line. Your name and where you calling from quickly. Yeah, Pascal, let's hear from you. Please be audible. Okay, yes.
So it's not about being on that. I think maybe the lack of education or something that somebody said, everybody lost that day. That's not mistake. You may know somebody just the day. They change the day. So the police focus there. They were you and something. So it's just you. But from the word doing what there. But this is not much. And now, you will be citizens for the year. And after we have to review our.
We can continue with you. We can continue. You got to call, maybe call my line. If you have my number, call my line. We can continue. Okay, let's take Dave quickly. Let's take Dave Cody. Dave is on the phone. Let's take Dave Cody quickly. Dave, good evening and welcome to the Next Time Heat.
Good evening to you. I have my alarm clock set. I listen to you from the beginning always, and thank you for the show.
Okay, thank you.
My good friend, Mr. Kennedy.
Thank you for following, Dave.
My only disappointment is that I've not been able to see Mr. Kennedy's face clearly because even tonight, he's not on the screen. And normally when he's together with Mr. Friendly, he's very small in the corner there.
Okay.
He sounds like somebody I know. Okay. Coming to the topic, I'm sorry for this country. We have a serious problem here. Yes, sorry for this country. I'm not going to insult anybody here. I'll be very polite. I'm too mature for that. But no intimidation technique is going to work in this street here. No intimidation technique by anybody. Whether you former what, it ain't going to work yet. The law is the law. The law is going to work. I don't see that, even when it comes to this $200,000 man, I'm not going to waste my time on him. Even the devil, Satan himself knows that he's lying. Nobody's stupid here. You can't play games with the Latvian people. Like I said.
But how do you know the man's lying, Dave?
My dear brother, man, the thing is 50,000 here, 30,000 here, 200,000 here. I mean, the whole thing is just confused. They confuse themselves, not us. No.
But Dave, you were not there when the man was in Ghana. Maybe it was when they started talking. It was when maybe the government have made the offer. Oh, you say man's lying.
What government, whatever. Maybe it's a government from Guinea, but not this one here. Look, these people, there's no way anybody can cover all this thing here. The truth will come out.
Okay.
And, I don't even, like I told you from the beginning, I'm not going to waste my time on the $200,000 man. I see people trying to defend him. It would not work. And even if Donald Trump, former president, George Bush, even goes to that court, what is the former what? No intimidation technique is going to work here. And coming to the issue about the bond.
Yeah, the card.
The bond is not valid. Don't waste your time. I think it's not valid. The prosecution was even having a problem with that thing before it left the lower court to go to a criminal court.
Okay, so then why the prosecution, they didn't raise it?
They actually did.
They raised it?
Yeah, they complained about it before it went up there. Yes.
They did.
They raised it. But the judge just felt it must go. And thank God the criminal court judge said, no, this thing is not correct. Got to go back to you. They raised the issue.
So how do you know that the bond is not valid?
Because the prosecution raised the issue, and because the criminal could a judge look at it and say this? No, my brother, read the papers and go to the Facebook or something. It is not valid. Those guys just think they can fool everybody else. It's not possible. No. The Liberian people are not a bunch of fools. You can't fool people here.
So it seems like you want the people to be rearrested. Is that what you want?
Not what I want, but what the law wants. What the law wants, like Mr. Kennedy said, they better find another correct owner and keep it in their pockets. Oh yeah, something funny happened one time when I went to visit Madame Sally. When I used to always go see her. We were sitting at her dining table in her house, and one of her old schoolmates came to visit her. And she said to him, please have a seat and have lunch with us. He went to his seat. He said, oh, madam, I'm not even, I don't want to eat now, but let me just say what I came here for. I actually want you to find me something to do. I want a job. Madam, look at her fellow. I don't want to go through the whole detail. But the madam just look at her and say, oh, yeah, but you got to bring your CV. My just put your hand in your pocket already. Say, yeah, my CV.
So you had a CV with you already?
Yeah, but already with him. He knew that the study when I just passed through the back door. But I thought so what these people need to do? Say you brought your Babati bomb.
You call it people bomb Babati bomb?
Oh Jesus.
Like Mr. Kennedy said, if they are listening tonight, you people on the other side there, I'm not saying you're guilty, but begging you for your uncle so you can't grab it and chunk your back in the jail. This one good point. Just keep it in your pocket. That happens to Salim, old school method. Just in your pocket. But the time of us said, look, I will help you, but you got to bring your CV so I can know where you belong.
All right, thank you, Mr. Cody.
Yeah, we're not stupid here, my brother. We're not stupid here.
Okay.
Let Joe Biden and all go there and go raise song and all. Waste of time. We're not stupid here. There are people in this country who think that people are afraid of them or must be afraid of them. Oh, it's not going to happen here. It will not happen. Maybe some people will be afraid of you. Some people just have that thinking that the Nigerian people are afraid of them or must be afraid of them. It will not work here. Oh, it will not work here. Just stop it. Just stop it. Your intimidation technique.
Okay, Mr. Cody. Thank you very much. Let's get another call on the line quickly. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening, Sava.
Yeah, let's hear from you.
I'm Samuel M. Salis calling from Province.
Okay, let's hear from you.
My attention has been drawn to the NRO and registration. For us on the side in Province, we find it a little bit difficult to go through the system. It's not easy. So we are appealing to the government to please, what they are coming always so it can be guaranteed for us that in it, next 6 months, we can be able to get our ID card fast so we can be able to go through our processes. It's not easy. Anywhere you go, the ID card right now is too essential.
Okay, let's get another call on the line quickly. Good evening.
Yeah.
Your name and where you calling from? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, let's hear from you quickly.
Yeah, this is Pascal. Am I okay now?
Yes, you are okay, Pascal. Let's hear from you quickly.
Okay. So thank you. I was listening to my old man. Say the law should be the law. But he supported the majority who are very lawless. No, Mr. Putin. You're a good old man. But we know you. We already know you. Look, trouble. The government is able to even give money down that time. You know that. It's very possible. A lot who are thinking and who are very critical. We will not get one to see the dying of the standard.
Please speak louder, please.
So, I'm saying that they're capable of even getting 500,000. I mean, nothing is possible.
Okay.
So we will not call here to say somebody is lying because we critical and we analytical. We don't have a star when it comes to this country. So for somebody to perceive that John can even be reduced or induced by $50 to tell you how come they are. You have to tell you from a particular camp. So you even brag John with $1 to accept. This is how they think for everybody. You know, they just have to say things like John. Everybody testing everybody. For you get people with moral and the world with just saying like, look, trouble. I heard somebody say in our hour will bring giving. So you'll be citizen for 3 years, after 3 years, you are not a citizen. Ordinary individuals will come from different countries from apart. You'll be citizen after studying that they are not citizen. You can really have to. Where is this headed? It's supposed to. Where is this country headed?
Okay, I think you make a point already. You make a point. Let's get another call on the line. Good evening.
Sabo.
Yes, sir.
Sabo, yeah. So I was on the line when I dropped.
Okay.
Yeah, sure. So I was saying that look, the allegation made by John Yanti is not true because John Yanti can refuse 200. John Yanti can refuse 100 ideas, then a 200,000. This is a brother who I know, and I'm saying what I'm saying here because I live with John Yanti. John Yanti said we grew up in this nuclear town. We grew up. John Yanti served as financial secretary for the Federation of Pro Youth. The records are in the borough of Kutown. Do an investigation or so, and you will know this capital. I say he rejected 200,000. That is not true. That is not true. That just told, they just told him to say it so that they will level allegations against against the police. But let me end on this or something. So, but look. I don't know who are those lawmakers that are calling on the government to, how do you call it, make the getting of the car to be free for 6 months. I don't know, right? But this is, I feel that it will be dishonest to, some of us who paid for our card and we got it. The only thing that I can't agree to is when you say government should extend the time. Because to say at the end of July or the end of August, no, it's short. Let government extend the time at least 6 months and it'll give 6 months to go and get your cards. And while you extending the time, there should be, I want to say the multiplicity of centers that people can go to easily, and do their registration.
Okay.
That would be okay. Then the 6 months or then the 6 months free. Then there will be this one. So they mean that they will be willing, if they do it, then we'll be willing to give our money back. And I say it's free, so it will be free.
Okay, many thanks. Let's get another call on the line. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Yes, sir. Let's hear from you.
My name is Harry. But the money they're talking about, they say they give it to that man. They decided to give it to the man for the driving. The man land. They scavenging the plane. The only place scavenging here.
The whole place strategy now.
Yeah.
The whole place strategy.
The only program I know if you know that too, let him get it too. Let him bring somebody that two of them are doing that conversation. Let him send a conversation between the both.
Okay, if we're going off 0778-460-793. That's the number to call. Again, 0778-460-793. That's the number to call. And you are live on the Nighttime Heat tonight. We've been looking at two major issues. The ongoing case, the issue of the bonds being sent back to the lower court. Also been talking about the issue of the NIR, that's the National Identification Cards. What's your experience? Some lawmakers are saying that the NRO should allow Liberians to get a card 6 months, the next 6 months, free of charge. Where do you stand? Call and share with us your experience in getting the card if at all you got yours, or if not, your experience in trying to get it. Yeah, good evening.
This is Jackson Edward. I call from People Junction, Depot here.
Okay.
So on the issue, on the discussion, the NRO process, I think we need to allow some people who don't have the opportunity to get to the center, ample time, because the NRO, the boss said, I think he was a bit confused today at the hearing. I mean, when we heard him, he did not program this thing properly. This is a process that inculcates over 5 million population. You cannot just look at few centers and say everybody should go there. No, even national voter registration is not a particular, the kind of a center. It is decentralized. So I think we should revisit that so that we can have everybody involved in the process. Now, on the issue of the code bomb issue, I think, look, when people comes, he who much is given, much is expected. People like Funati Kofa, Abu Banak Kamara, Jason Sivo and the rest of the people, they are not strangers into this country. How will you file a bond and then that bond is not valid as described by the prosecuting lawyer? I think something is smelling, because even George Weah, to go there and appear there when the bond was signed, he raised that kind of a loud battle cry. We saw it on the television. It speaks like he has settled everything was okay. And then he come back, he going back, he coming back, he going back. This does not represent anyone who want to be a good leader.
Okay.
You go to somewhere, George Bush should sign the best bond or make a proper representation in behalf of those people so that they shouldn't go.
Okay. You made your point. Let's take another call on the line quickly. Good evening. Good evening. Yes, hello.
Yeah, how are you, sir?
I'm okay. And your name?
I'm John Saputo calling from Panasco, Quebec.
Let's hear from you, John. Let's hear from you.
The government trying to inconvenience citizens. When it comes to the voter registration, they can open most centers, right? Yeah, you go to like a Man TV, you get one center, one after another. You go to Philadelphia, you get center. The second, you get center. You get to all of the place, you have center there, right? The whole of Kakata, you have one center there. The whole of Kakata, you have one center there. When you get to the place in the morning, it is tired for people. Why is it time for us to elect them to create more centers? Then you inconvenience us by telling us to take article within 3 months or 1 month on day. What's the possibility? It's not possible.
Okay.
For me, if I was the one that doing this thing, I would tell them every election season, you'll be able to create sites right after taking your citizen card. From there, you go to your voter registration card. I think all last of the census there will going to be better for us.
Okay. Many thanks. Thank you very much for taking time off a busy schedule to participate. Again, 0778-460-793. That's the number to call, 0778-460-793. That's the number to call, and you are live on the Nighttime Heat. We've been treating two major topics. The issue with the again, sending back the bond to the lower court. The criminal court said the bond is the hearing was not complete because it was not finalized that the bond was insufficient or sufficient to send it back. And then the issue with the NRO, the identification cards. Let's take the call on the line quickly. Good evening. Hello? 0778-460-793. We'll take a few more calls. I'm sure at 10 o'clock we'll be shutting the doors to walk out of here. 0778-460-793. That's the number to call. and you are live on the nighttime heat. Let's take this caller. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, sir. Let's hear from you.
I want to ask a question before I start.
Mm-hmm.
Who determines the bond is value or not? Is it the prosecution or the defense lawyer or the judge?
The judge.
The judge. So why the people coming from? Defense lawyer, the prosecution, when they raise the issue, on the football field, you kick the ball, the other man kick the ball, the referee can tell the topic they foul. So let's wait for the judge to decide what is the problem. You see, people are just jump on talk. The issue is prosecution raise it. That anything you raise in the court is the judge that can finalize it. He look at it by law. So if the bond will not valid, why they put it on parole? That's a question. Thank you very much.
Okay, many thanks. So let's take another call on the line. Good evening. Good evening.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, good evening, Saba.
Yeah, let's hear from you.
Yeah, I tell my friend how to do with the court issue.
Okay.
They tell the guys why John Yanti are saying a lie. Yeah, it can be true that he lied. But what's taking from Ghana on the state and we need having confiscated from the 6th to the 18th. We are bringing to the court or to the prison. That's my point.
Okay. That's your point. You made your point already. Let's take another call on the line quickly. 0778 460 793. We'll take about 2 more calls and then we'll do our analysis and wrap it up quickly. 0778 460 793. That's the number to call, and you are live on the nighttime heat tonight. We've been treating 2 major topics. The issue that has to do with the bond. You know, Criminal Court has sent the bond back because the hearings concerning the issue of the bond was not complete. The issue of whether the bond was sufficient or not was not satisfied. Let's hear from you quickly. Your name and where are you calling from?
Yeah, I want to talk briefly about the national ID card issue.
Okay.
I heard there's some lawmakers saying that if the card should be issued free to the citizen
for the next 6 months.
I think those lawmakers and they're trying to score a political goal, but they're not talking. I don't think they're talking with sense. Don't make no sense. What about we are taking the ID card, pay our money for it? So are they going to refund our money back to us? They say nothing. Are they thinking? Or because they're saying why they're eating free taxpayer money, now they're saying up, they're talking that nonsense.
No, we can't continue with that. You call our law because they're talking nonsense. Okay, let's take 2 more calls and we'll wrap it up quickly. 0778 460 793. Again, 0778 460 793. Good evening.
How are you doing, sir?
I'm okay, sir.
Yeah, I just want to talk about national ID card issue.
Okay.
I want to know only for citizens or all residents of the country.
Well, it's called citizen ID card.
Mm-hmm.
So it's called citizen ID card.
So our other people like aliens have the right to get some or how?
Well, I think what I heard of is that an ID card for you as such is supposed to be from the Ministry of Labor. You are a foreigner coming to work, immigration or Ministry of Labor is supposed to take it. But the ID card, what I know about it is national identification card. So it's other opposed to citizen ID card. Probably they allow aliens and foreigners to take it. I haven't heard about that. So I don't want to say yes. I don't want to say no. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get into the final one. Good evening. Good evening. Hello? Hello? Yes, sir. Let's hear from you.
Yeah. My name is James Antonin, calling from Canaville.
Okay.
Yeah, Chief. For the National Identification ID card, that is very important we discuss. And I want to make a point and also have a question for the audience to listen and so as well, you in studio. And when it comes to the national ID card, we have foreigners and aliens. They announced both the prices for both of them. We have $10 and out of $20. People in Africa, the blacks, they take it as well $10. People who are white Negroes will take it as $20. So in this ID card, when you take it, what they have any distribution of the colors, because prior to the time the key in or the national ID card, they have discrimination between the colors, the aliens and the foreigner and Liberians. But now I have noticed that all of the ID cards that are giving all have the same colors. One. Two, the security feature that they're presenting on the ID card, they are very poor for the security or even the immigration to tell whether these ID cards are legitimate or to have the full information on a QR or metric coding information. You check it out, you don't find it. Only NRL have that barcoding app. So my brother who work at immigration, they always complaining on people who have this ID card that have no metric or security feature. So the ID card is only to generate money for government, or they have any mechanism put in place that the security will be able to use media immigration that will be able to deter who are Liberian in possession of the ID cards. Because the ID card is very insane. Valid ID card to any citizen or any foreigner in possession, meaning that they are Liberian, you can question them and make the word very tedious for immigration.
Okay.
So in our water mechanism they are putting in place to have security measure that the immigration will have full control. Really, they get it in their hand out there on the reaching the border. What mechanism are put in place when it comes to security measure?
Okay.
That one. So
Okay.
to the last chief. And when it comes to the NR aspect, I know that more companies and more private or I call it a business area bringing in or going to NR to get people from there and carry it to their companies or to the business site to see how best they can register the people. At the NR putting any measure putting in place, all the location they give people to go there to have their self-register or to get an ID card. Because more people, companies put it in for themselves at NR, bringing them to very private area and bringing their compounds to do the national ID card. One mechanism that they put in place, and I have some information that after the show will call you and give you location of places they are doing private registration for businesses and company as well.
Okay. All right. Many thanks. Many thanks. Many thanks. Let me just squeeze this last one in quickly. Good evening.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay. My problem is I took since the 20th of last month up to now I've not received it. I've gone there 4 times, no way. So
Wow.
I don't know what we do about that.
Where you want to go take care?
Town hall, Ghana State.
Oh, town hall. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I'm hoping that they can do something about people getting their cards on time. Okay, so that doesn't we're not taking additional calls. Are you listening to the callers, George? What did you gather from them so far? Let's just talk.
Thank you. I think the ID card issue dominated. The callers pay more premium to the ID cards, and some of them raised some serious issues that I would like to highlight. And the NRL boss, as you said, we hope that he comes here on Monday to address some of these things.
He promised to be here.
Yeah. So, first clarification I'd like to make is that the lawmakers propose, Representative Member Breach, proposed that the government should do the ID card free. The government has not yet agreed. There is no discussion at level that's exactly to make it free. All right, so it's not free. And another caller raised an issue about the ID card being substandard. That is stealing. It doesn't last long. I think the NRL, when the boss comes here on Monday,
we'll raise it with him.
Raise it with him. And the security features, security features are poor. The last caller was very clear. In fact, he even answered question that one of the callers raised as to whether foreigners are taking it, aliens are taking it. And he said it's true, but what happened is everybody having the same colors. He was talking about whether from the beginning it was like citizens color different, the aliens color different, and foreigners color different. So it's conflicting for immigration officers at various points of entries to identify people. So the NIRO need to take that into consideration. Why is it that we are under pressure as a country to do these things that this ID card, we should do it better.
Surely.
Additionally, almost all the callers recommended the idea of increasing the centers. One of the callers went and said that Kakata, the whole of Margibi, Kakata is only one center.
Can you imagine that?
We got thousands of people in Kakata, you get one center. Ghana's area, those places. I thought that ID cards, if you take the picture, they were printed immediately on the spot and turned over to you. But it looks like they go and carry it to the head office and print it. Such, I think that some of the things are causing problems.
Causing a delay,
I think they have logistical problems, serious logistical problems.
And that's the reason what I was saying to you.
Yeah,
that even if the Andrew Peters and his team sat with the president, and the president said this is mandatory, this is urgent, I thought they should have gone home and brainstorm on how the process can work easily, but they didn't do it. And that's some of the things that Member Briggs was saying. If they had sat down to put all their ideas together to see how effective it will be and easier it will be, but now we are not talking what we're talking about, because they would have had funding for that, they would have had logistics, new equipment and all of that, and they would have had opportunity to get more centers. Schools are closing down. That's the appropriate time, so we're hoping that they can go back home to sit down and see what can happen.
Yes, and I also agree with the caller that suggested that schools should be used. Yes, that NEC decentralized is voter registration. We know we're praising NEC right now because from the beginning they found it difficult the same way. So they could use the same strategy, get the machine, deploy their staff and then do this thing. Because the caller that said they should turn the ID card over to NEC, I said no. I said no. It's not because NEC is graduating down to a better service delivery level, so we should take up the function of another entity created by an act of the legislature and turn it over to them. The only thing I can tell NRO, try to learn from NEC and improve your services.
Yeah, sure.
But I cannot say take your services and give it to NEC. No. So I feel that I know and I'm aware that they have qualified, competent people. They just need to be supported and given the necessary technical and material support to discharge their function. That's what I would say for now.
Okay, many thanks. George, we really appreciate your time, your insightful comments and contributions. We really appreciate this evening. Let's before we go, let's try to recognize few. Some individuals who've been listening to us. Some of them, Christiana GC Massacre, she said she's been watching from Barnesville. Kemezi Fokpa, he didn't say where he been watching from. J. Williams Bayan said he been watching from Parker Payne Junction. Ibrahim Polo Freeman didn't say. Sekou Kamara didn't say. Edwin Gawro Koi didn't say. J. Alberto Kabi, I said we've been watching from home. Augustine Tamba, you say we've been watching from district didn't say. Love Chichi, she's been watching from home, I'm sure. Thank you, Love, and the rest of you for watching the show. Always make sure that you share the show so that your friends, your relatives, your loved ones, your partners can also follow the show as well. On behalf of all my panelists, Moses couldn't be here today. He said, well, he got major engagement at his office. Thank you very much again, George, for coming.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
We're hoping on Monday we'll have the Mr. Andrew Peters. Mr. Peters is the head of the NLR. He'll be right here on the program. He promised us very faithfully, so he'll be here at 8:30 on Monday. On behalf of my producers, Sabo George is my name. Have a pleasant weekend.